Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a truly dark, mythic fable about memory, existential struggle, and, well, the cold cosmic logic of the void. We'll be unpacking a text called The Calculus of Residual Will. And you know what's absolutely fascinating here? It's how it uses the dense language of mathematics and philology to explore deeply human themes of trauma and connection. It's like a giant metaphysical puzzle, and we're going to put the pieces together.
Okay, let's jump right into the deep end with the cosmic creed of negation. This drops us straight into the freezing reality our protagonist, Sir Brain, has to navigate. The text reads, "All assertion tends toward cancellation. All continuity is temporary expenditure. All soft error is only delay." So what does this actually mean for us? Basically, in this universe, making a statement, taking a stand, or just simply existing, it's treated as a mathematical anomaly. It's a glitch that the universe is actively trying to solve by erasing it entirely.
Section 1. The Logic of Negation. Let's break this down.
To really wrap our heads around this grim universe, we have to map out the terrifying forces at play on the Black Shore. Now, we aren't just looking at a scary, dark ocean here. The Obsidian Sea is literally a strict philological condition of erasure. It represents the living error, which means anything that still possesses will, memory, or human flaw. And the environment itself? It's a shifting labyrinth city designed entirely around subtraction. It doesn't just want to destroy you. It wants to mathematically prove that you never should have existed in the first place. Wild, right?
Moving on to Section 2. Sir Brain's existential struggle. The tension in this part of the parable is just palpable. Sir Brain stands before a completely neutral figure known as the Sage. His residual aura is flickering around his compromised armor, and he just makes his admission without any sugarcoating whatsoever. He admits he's learned from a cartographer. But here's the catch. According to the denser calculus of his world, this connection is a calculated error that desperately needs to be deleted. He fully expects to be canceled right then and there, but nothing happens. The Dark Star waits. The dialogue actually holds. He essentially refuses to accept the naming of his humanity as a mere error. And the Sage diagnoses Sir Brain's condition with this incredibly profound realization. The Sage calls it the muscle memory of faith. It's the repeated bodily and cognitive act of treating another will as relevant, even when the arithmetic of negation declares it completely irrelevant. Think about that for a second. Continuing to care after the logical justification for caring has been completely subtracted is a fascinating form of knowledge. Sir Brain doesn't have a guaranteed outcome, he just has that muscle memory. He defies the absolute zero of his world.
All right, Section 3. Ascent of the Dark Apotheosis.
This, right here, maps out the terrifying progression of the dark apotheosis that's hanging over this entire existential dilemma. You see, it's no longer about immediate, fiery destruction. Nope, it's way more insidious. It simply measures the living, soft error, stuff like humanity, memory, connection, and it waits. It patiently waits to starve out any resistance. It forces the residual will to either integrate into the cold void or exhaust itself completely, all to achieve a state of colder, pure, undisturbed sovereignty.
Section 4. Ilara and the Defiant Ledger.
Acting as the ultimate counterweight to this terrifying void, we find Ilara, the honest guest. She's sitting at the edge of an ordinary lake, far away from that Black Shore. And the really crucial point here is that her defiance isn't some grand, violent rebellion. Not at all. It's quiet, and it is incredibly durable. She simply maintains the metaphysical maps page open. She records the data from absolute zero and the residual ripple, refusing to close the page. She doesn't force a neat, premature narrative onto Sir Brain's struggle. She simply ensures that returning memory actually has a place to be recognized and recorded.
So, we are looking at two entirely opposing philosophies on memory here. On one side, you have the cold arithmetic of subtraction weighing down Sir Brain, the void and the denser calculus that are actively trying to erase him. And on the flip side, you have Ilara's relentless method of preservation. She's keeping the ledger open. She makes sure it stays legible so that the soft error of human experience isn't just permanently lost to the math of negation.
Section 5. Cost of complete sovereignty. Let's look at the actual philosophical cost of this battle. If you want to achieve the gains of sovereignty, like purity, invulnerability, and absolute order, you have to pay the ultimate price, and that price is steep. It means the total loss of connection, the erasure of memory, and getting rid of all human soft error. The dark apotheosis basically demands that you feel absolutely nothing, so that nothing can ever hurt you again. Section 6. Your own personal apotheosis. Let's bring this home to us.
This right here is exactly why this text matters so much today. Because, let's be honest, we all face our own dense calculus that tells us to just delete our past mistakes. When we go through trauma, there is this incredibly powerful, deeply human urge to detach, right? To numb ourselves, to erase painful histories, and to seek that unfeeling, perfect sovereignty where no one can ever touch us. That is the modern dark apotheosis. It's that massive temptation to erase our own history just to make the pain stop.
But, just like Sir Brain chose to hold on to the soft era of the cartographer's teachings, we have to fight back against that urge. We've got to resist the arithmetic of negation. We need to acknowledge our residual will and actually keep the ledger of our past open. It's about bravely integrating our traumas and our flaws, rather than just letting the void erase them. Your history, with all of its messy, human soft errors, it is entirely relevant.
Returning to our parable for a moment, all these cosmic elements are converging on a single coordinate in time. We've got a narrowing interval here. The shadow's revelation of the great evening, the sovereign's ratios aligning, it all leads right to the opening of the Obsidian Sea, which is an event known as the high time. The pressure is building fast. And the return of the residual will, it carries zero guarantee of permanence. It only carries the verified probability that it'll occupy physical space just long enough to be recognized by the ledger.
I'm going to leave you to ponder this incredibly chilling final thought. Between the cold ascent of the dark star and the living resistance happening in the accelerated garden, a choice has to be made. When your own personal absolute zero arrives, will your ledger be totally empty? Will you have erased yourself into pure, unfeeling sovereignty? Or will your beautiful, human, soft errors find a surface capable of recording your name?